welcome to my farmhouse sewing room. Today is the day you've been waiting for. It's the apron video. So my special surprise that I told you all about, I've got my mom here and she's modeling it for me. This is my newest apron. I did put this on my Etsy shop. It was made out of a Lori Holt block. I haven't quite perfected this apron, but I think it's done pretty good as far as it's been done. So the block itself was made out of scraps that I had in my scrappy stash. The cord here was some flat ribbon that even just looked like a cord, so I just kind of sewed it on there. And you can see that the background fabrics all made the body of the apron, and I sewed some cute little pockets on it, and the bottom has like this, what do you call it? Recipe cards. It has a little recipe cards, and I did this cute little yellow and white polka dot ruffle on the bottom. And I'm going to flip you around so my mom can kind of model this for you and you can kind of see how this wonderful apron really looks on her. So it's some nice long ties in the back. You've got the pockets to put your cell phone in or your spoons or something, you know, that you need to handle around in the kitchen. This is on my Etsy store, Farmhouse by Marnay. I have it listed for $45. I've already had some lookers on it. And my mom is really in love with this apron. By the way, my mom's name is Mary, so say hello to my mom. Say hi, Mary. So today we're going to do the half apron tutorial, but I just wanted to let you know that this apron is going to be coming up. I'm going to do some more show you how videos of how I made this, but this is my first one, but I can show you some blocks for a future full apron such as this. And I've got some blocks that are already made just to kind of give you the idea of what I'm going to do with some aprons. So I've got this bowl and spoons. This would be great for an apron, and I can also do these blocks smaller and they would make great pockets on an apron as well. But I really like the top of the bib as the showcase of the apron and then matching stuff up. And I've got the tea kettle. This would look great with maybe some cute little coffee cups or something, or teacups. I have a chicken, and I can do these in different colors. This would be really cute for, you know, some chicken fabric, the mama hen. And this one also is the Morning Star, which is great, and this has some little chicken design on it, but these would make really great aprons. And they won't be into these particular colors. They can be in any color. So if you get on my Etsy store, Farmhouse by Marnay, you will be seeing some more of aprons like this with different designs on them, different colors. These are one of a kind, no two alike. So today I'm going to get on with the half apron that I showed you kind of like this in my last video here in my sewing room. And I do have the fabric here with a farmhouse chicken. And if you want to hold this up on one end, and I can show you the other. This is going to be a half apron. You can see I've got the cute little checks on the bottom, and I'm going to explain to you how I put this cute little apron together. So I'm going to lay this out and my notes. On the bottom with these little squares, I took all the colors that matched in the chickens, and I'm going to kind of aim this down so I can show you exactly what I did with this apron, and that you can get the idea of this to what you need to do to make this half apron. This is a very simple apron, and this is something you can put together in just a few hours. So what I did is I took 2-inch squares, and I had a lot of squares, and I matched up every color that was in these chickens. And I didn't have very much of this chicken fabric, so I cut it into 2 pieces, and then I just put some coordinating fabric in it. It doesn't have to be all one solid color. You can just make this as fun as you want to do. So the apron for these little 2-inch squares, you need 52 of these little colorful squares if you want to do this kind of border on your bottom. You can do whatever you like. You can actually make this into a nice little ruffle if you wanted to. This is about as creative as you can get with these things, and this is just what I came up with for this particular fabric.
Solid color for the bottom, and one solid color would be pretty. Pick out where the colors here, make a solid one solid color.
That's an awesome idea. Yeah, solid color would make ruffles. It's up to you. You're the boss of whatever you're making. So, but I used 52 of these 2-inch squares, and I sewed these 2-inch squares into 4 patches, and then I put each 4 patch together. And on the end, if you can see on the ends, I had to cut it off a little bit because it overhung the size of my apron. So the body of my apron up here at the top is 18 inches tall by 40 inches wide. This gives you a nice big size because all in all, you're eventually gonna baste this across the top, and we're gonna ruffle it together, to scrunch it together to kind of like this half apron here is. As you can see, I've basted it, and then you're gonna pull it together to make it pleated up like this. And then I cut a piece of muslin the same size as the base of my fabric, which I have right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this muslin and I'm gonna put it over the front of my apron, and I am going to sew this all the way around the body of my apron. And I'm gonna leave about a 5 to 6 inch hole here on the bottom. And when you leave this hole on the bottom, you'll be able to turn it. And then I'll clip my corners, and then I'll turn it right side out. And then of course, then you're gonna baste it. After you've sewed your muslin on, you're gonna baste it twice across, and you're gonna ruffle it up a little bit to fit to your waist. And then once you have that, the basting where you want it to fit your waist, you're gonna stitch it down permanently so that your waist stays in there. And then you're gonna cut your waistband fabric, and you're gonna cut 2 pieces of this, which this one here I had a leftover piece of fabric, so I sewed it in 2 different places, but you wouldn't even know. This has to be 4 inches wide by 80 inches long. 80 inches will give you enough tie to put in the back. And what I'm gonna do after we get it cut and sewed together, which you can see on here, I have little seams, but you won't even notice. I'm gonna fold this in half, right sides together. And I'm gonna sew each end up toward the middle, but I'm gonna leave a pretty good hole so that I can turn each end right side out. And then when I get ready, and then I turn it right side out, I'm gonna lay it across the top of my apron about 2 inches down. What I have, maybe not, no, you wouldn't even need 2 inches down. I think I did like a 1/2 inch down. I'm sorry. I have to look at my references. It's been a while since I made one of these half aprons, but you can see on here how far I've put it down, just so the top peeks enough through the top of your waistband. And then this one here, as you can see, I stitched this one down on the top and bottom with a regular stitch, but then I also went back and did a decorative stitch underneath each straight stitch, just to give it some extra security. And then in the back of it, you can see where it's all been cinched up and everything. So this is really simple. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go off camera. I am going to put this thing together, and then I will get back on here and I will show you the finished product. Okay, so I'm gonna put you back up here. So stay tuned to my channel, and we will get this finished up for you. So I will be chatting with you soon, okay?
Hi again, folks.
Okay, we're back. We've got the apron sewed together. So I've got the lining to the front, and I'm gonna move you down so you can kind of see how we've got it done here. You can see it looks really cute. We've got it all gathered, and I couldn't find the right words to tell you how to do this, but we have run a running stitch, and it's the longest stitch on your sewing machine after you get your back sewed. So I had the muslin to the right side, and I stitched it all the way around, and I left a hole in the bottom. And then after I turned it, before I turned it, I clipped the corners so you can poke your corners out so they're nice and sharp. And then I flipped it and turned it right side out, and I top stitched it all the way around, and I top stitched it on the bottom here where I had my hole. So I pressed it before I top stitched it. Pressed it, top stitched it all the way around so you can see it's nice and finished looking, and it has the liner on the back. And then we run a running stitch along the top, and we gathered it. So now that we've got it all gathered up to fit our waist, we're ready to put on the ties. So my mom put together the ties, and she sewed, we left the hole in the center on the back side, and she turned it right side out, and we also fixed the ends of the ties so that they were nice and pointed too. And you don't have to do this, you can leave them squared, but I prefer that they have a little point just because I think it looks nicer and decorative. We also folded it in half and put a pin right in the middle, so we know where the middle of our tie is gonna go to the front of our apron. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this tie, and I'm going to kind of position it right over the top of my basting stitch. So this would be the middle, and then we will pin it into place. And then I'm gonna sew this together. And this will be the final part of finishing up our apron. So.
And then I'll model it for you.
Yeah, and then my mom will model it for you. It'll be really cute. So in the meantime, I'm gonna sew this together, and I'm gonna let my mom chit chat at you. Yeah, so have fun. I'll be back.
Okay. I'm Marnie's mom, as you know, and if some of you just tuned in. I'm her mom. I've known her all her life. I like to tell jokes a lot. I like to make people laugh because it's good for the soul. I'm 74, just turned 74 January 9th. I ride my own motorcycle. I have for at least 50 years or more. I've had one accident. That was 2 years ago. I hit a car in the rear end because he was sitting still with no tail lights on, no brake lights. And I was going about 25 in town. And praise the Lord, I'm a Christian. I had no scratches on me, not even a broken fingernail. It was awesome. I bent the tire on the bike, the wheel. Broke the windshield and the fender, but it's all fixed nice and new now, and I still ride it, and I love it. I had a big Harley at one time 2 years ago, but after 3 years of riding, it got too heavy for me to back up on gravel or grass, so I sold it and bought a smaller bike. It's a Honda Shadow. It looks like a Harley. It sounds like one, and it's gorgeous. And that's one of my passions. That's my second passion. My first passion is Jesus. I'm a Christian, as I said, and I love to go to church. I love to ride my bike to church on Wednesday nights when it's daylight out. And I go to my daughter's with Oleanne at least once a month to go to church with her up there. And she likes to sew. And Marnie got to learn to sew, I think, 20 years ago. She said, Mom, how do you set a sewing machine up? I said, well, I haven't done it in quite a long time, but I never forgot. And once I got her into sewing machine, and she went nuts. She just, I created a monster. She sews everything, and she's taught me things I didn't even know about sewing. Like, I didn't know YouTube. I didn't have any idea about that. And she's taught me a lot, and we're still teaching each other things, how to sew and design. And I sew with a couple ladies that get together at her house once a week and sew, and they call me the designer because I like to design stuff. And it's just a lot of fun to sew and see what you can make. You know, the sky's the limit. And I just brought her some fabric for her today. I had a great big china closet full of fabric so it wouldn't get dirty or dusty. I bought a smaller one. I downsized, and I didn't realize how much fabric I had in that big china closet. And to my surprise, the lady that bought it is using it for the same thing, to put her fabrics in to keep them from getting dirty. So I brought over a whole 2 big bagfuls of fabric today. And she went through and kept what she wanted, and the rest we'll just sell it or whatever. But she's a beautiful daughter. She's very smart, wonderful, caring. And I have got 3 beautiful children. I have a younger son that's younger than Marnie. And I have an older daughter, an Oleanne. She's beautiful. She's a Christian. And it just, I had colon cancer when I was 60. And I prayed to God I would live to see my daughter get married one more time. And I did. I went to her wedding this year and did her pictures for her and her filming of her wedding. It was beautiful. So God has granted me a lot in my life. He saved me from colon cancer. I had COVID. I came from that. I had a very best friend die of that. And it made me feel bad that she died and I lived. You know, it hurt me. But I have her motorcycle that I bought from her. So that, to me, will be memory of her all the time. She rode for a long time, but then she had these rods in her back and she couldn't ride anymore. So I bought her bike, and there's my right, I think of her. Well, Marnie's about finished up with her apron over there, I think. And I'll put you on pause for just a couple seconds till she gets back. Okay? We'll see you in a minute.
Hey, we're back. The apron is finished. My mom's going to model it for you. So this is how it turned out. Is this not adorable? Simple, nothing too fancy. You can just take what you have and put something together and make a really cute design. And this is the first time I've actually put pockets on one of these half aprons because it's really simple. And I'm going to go over those measurements for you again. The body of the apron needs to be 18 tall and 40 inches wide. And you can do the little blocks on the bottom, or you can do a different colored band, or you could do a ruffle. It's whatever you want to do. But I did the 52 2-inch squares, sewed them into 4 patches, trimmed them off at the end where the overhang is. Don't overthink an apron because it's something simple and it's to protect your clothes, but you can make them as cute as you want to make them. And the pockets were actually a leftover piece of fabric that I had left when I cut up the little chicken parts, and I didn't want to waste, you know, the rest of the little fabrics here, so I just thought they would make great pockets. And I even lined them with a different colored red with a tiny polka dot, and I double stitched them all the way around. And once we got the body of the apron on, and of course I sewed the pockets on, sewed the liner on, and then made my tie, the tie that goes around it, that is going to be 4 inches wide by 40 inches long. You're going to fold it in half, right side in, or wrong side out actually, and you're going to leave a hole in the middle of it, turn it right side out, and you don't have to worry about sewing that hole shut because the hole will be in the middle. So once you have it all put out in your press, my mom had top stitched it, so after I gathered the waistband to fit the waist, we just laid the tie band across the gathers, and the middle would be right in the middle of your apron. And then I just went over top of the stitches that she already top stitched on the waistband. So it's just super cute. Nothing to overthink, very simple, very basic. You know, so come up with something really creative. And I would love to see your ideas on Instagram. I don't get on Instagram a lot, but I do have an Instagram, and it's under Broken Wings Sewing Creator. I would love to see your creations if you do this apron. My next apron, I will get into the more adult full aprons as I have the mixer block on that. My aprons are going to be on my Etsy shop under Farmhouse by Marnay. So looking forward to getting some of those things up if you want to see more creations.
And the aprons can be worn for parties if you're having a cookout or something. Put your pretty apron on, show it off. You know, it has to be just for in the kitchen cooking. You can wear it when you have a party, just to
or doing
pretty.
Housework, you know.
Yes.
Just and it protects your clothes, and they're so fun to wear, and you can make them as pretty as you want or as whimsical as you want.
It's good advertisement if people want to make an apron. How did you get an apron at? I made it myself.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a feel-good thing that you do yourself.
You don't buy them looking like this.
Yeah.
You buy just plain aprons and make them decorative and beautiful for you to wear. Make you feel beautiful too.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please like and please subscribe, and I will be talking to you soon. Have a great day.
Bye.